You know that feeling, right? You're trying to focus on something important, a work project, a book, maybe even just a conversation. And then, almost without thinking, your hand just reaches for your phone. You unlock it, scroll for a second, then put it back down. Sound familiar? That tiny little action is way more important than you think. It's actually a sign of this hidden battle that's going on inside your brain every single minute of the day. So let's break down what's really going on. Okay, get ready for this number. 344. That is how many times the average person checks their phone every single day. That works out to about once every 4 minutes. But honestly, the real story isn't the number itself. It's the hidden price we pay long after we've already looked away.
You see, the real cost is this kind of hidden cognitive tax that we're paying every single time we glance at our phones. It messes with our focus, our productivity, and even our happiness in ways that most of us just never realize. So, what is actually happening in there?
To really get to the solution, we first have to understand the problem. And here's the thing. The problem isn't really in your phone. It's in our own brain chemistry. This is your brain on notifications. Okay, so here's the hidden mechanism that makes this so hard to resist. Every single notification is basically engineered to feel like you're pulling the lever on a slot machine. It's that unpredictable reward, that potential like or a new message, that gives your brain a hit of dopamine. But here's the catch. It's not the dopamine of satisfaction. It's the dopamine of seeking, which just creates a craving to check again and again and again. And this shows that there are really two different kinds of dopamine. On one side, you've got that empty hit from just seeking, that hollow cycle of checking and scrolling. But on the other side, you've got the deeply satisfying dopamine hit that comes from real achievement. Finishing a project, solving a tough problem. Our brains are literally being trained to chase the wrong reward. I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the environment we're all up against. Our digital world is designed, on purpose, to be a cruel wonderland, constantly pulling at our attention with an endless stream of new, shiny things. And this brings us to a super important idea called attention residue. For strategists, think of it like this. When you glance at a notification and then try to go back to your work, a part of your brain is actually still stuck on what you just saw. It's like this mental fog or sludge that makes it impossible to give 100% to the task in front of you. And that fog, it has a very real cost. Research from the University of California, Irvine, found that this constant task switching can slash our cognitive performance by up to 40%. That's nearly half of your brain power just gone. Now, if you're feeling a bit down about all this, I need you to listen really closely. This struggle is not a sign of weak willpower. It is not your fault. We are all in this together, pushing against systems that are literally designed to capture our attention. And just realizing that, just knowing that, is the most important first step toward taking back control. So how do we do it? How do we actually fight back against this design? Well, it's not about throwing your phone in the lake. It's about being intentional. So let's build a really practical framework to do exactly that. The whole answer here is creating what we call digital boundaries. And look, this is not about some painful extreme detox. It's a safe and really practical way to define a healthier relationship with your tech, one where it serves your goals, not the other way around. Okay, here's the simple version. It's a clear 3-step process. That's it. First, we assess. Just understand your habits. Second, we design. Create new rules for yourself. And third, we automate. Use some tools to help enforce those new rules. Easy. Let's start with step 1. Assess. You just can't fix a problem if you don't really understand it. Use the tools that are probably already on your phone, like screen time or digital well-being, to get a clear, honest picture of your usage. The goal here is super simple. Just gather data. No judgment, no feeling bad about it. Just see what's really going on. All right, now for step 2, design. And let's start with your physical space, because this stuff is incredibly powerful. Create some tech-free zones, like maybe the bedroom or the dinner table. Set up a digital curfew an hour or 2 before you go to sleep. It does wonders for your sleep quality. And honestly, the simplest rule of all, when you're trying to focus, just put your phone in another room. Out of sight, out of mind. Now we get to design our digital space. You've got to be ruthless with your notifications. Seriously, ask yourself, what truly needs my immediate attention? Not much, probably. For those who want a more structured plan, for strategists, you can try the 3-2-1 rule. And finally, before you unlock your phone, just take 1 second and pause.
Ask yourself, why am I picking this up right now? That 1 second question can be powerful enough to break the entire habit loop.
And finally, we get to step 3, automate. This is where we get clever and actually use technology against itself. You can start with apps that block distractions. And here's a pro tip that very few people actually use. For explorers, turn your screen to grayscale. It makes that cruel wonderland of shiny things, well, a lot less appealing. And crucially, communicate your boundaries. Just letting people know when you're offline manages their expectations and helps you stick to your commitment. For social smarts, so, after doing all this, what's the big payoff? What do you actually get? Well, it's not just about feeling a little less stressed. The benefit is real, it's measurable, and it's huge. Let's talk about what we call the cognitive dividend. For strategists, for anyone out there thinking strategically, this is the whole game right here. The cognitive dividend is that 40% of productive capacity we talked about earlier. It's the focus you get back when you finally eliminate that constant mental fog. This is a massive, tangible return on your investment of time and attention. And that dividend, it pays out in every single area of your life. It's not just about getting more work done. We're talking about less anxiety, way better sleep, the ability to do that deep, meaningful work, and maybe most importantly, being fully present with the people who actually matter to you. I mean, that's what's really at stake here. When you put all this together, it leads to a state that researchers call digital flourishing. It's not about escaping technology. It's about making technology finally serve your goals so you can thrive. For social smarts, it's that sweet spot where our digital tools are genuinely supporting our well-being and our values. So in the end, the goal was never to reject the phone. It's just to reclaim our relationship with it, to engage intentionally and on our own terms. We've built our defenses. But that leaves us with one last really big question. What if technology was designed from the very beginning to protect our focus instead of exploiting it? What would that future even feel like?
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.